I don't think of this as a dark thought. I just like, I'm always kind of thinking about the idea that, you know, everybody's going to die. Nobody's going to be, I guess it's kind of like a stoic idea in a way where it's like, you know, you're going to die. Nobody's going to remember you, you know, everything's been done before. You're going to die. Nobody's going to remember you. It's just like, so if you spend all your time, you know, trying to think about your legacy or what you're doing,
we talked about in
contributes to somebody else's vision of you. Yeah. Or great, like
achieving
you're
greatness.
not going to do anything that like start right now spending all of your time and I'm not saying do things that only serve you.
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be that cut
It's
and
not that
dry
it
selfish.
serves you.
Yeah.
It's just telling the truth.
Just tell the truth. Yeah. Just figure out what that is and just do it. I can't stress that enough. Like, you know, consider like, it's healthy to think about that you're not going to be here at a certain point.
Yeah.
And that everything that you've done is probably going to go like, and we still do stuff all the time. We buy things and we purchase things with that in mind of like, man, I want something that'll outlive me. We do that. That's why I think that's part of what drives us to create work. It's part of what drives us to take photographs because you're trying to like grab onto some instance that's passing and that's going to move by. And, but all that stuff is going to, you know, go away eventually. So
is there something in us? Is it ego? Like this need for almost immortality, like something, and I don't mean like to physically live forever. I just mean like,
I think so. And it's just,
and is that ego? Like,
there's just no point. Like there is, okay. I totally get why people do that, but if you really spend time thinking about it, I think most people they don't give a shit. Yeah. Truly. Like they might say like, oh man, I want to leave a legacy or I want something that matters or I want so-and-so to be proud of me. It's like, and those are more, those are probably more secondhand thoughts than they are how people truly feel about things.
Yeah.
I think, it's just something that just pay attention to yourself and in a way that make your studio, like design your studio. I feel like I'm just preaching and I'm circling myself and I'm not really adding anything useful, but
I think this comes from some of the stuff we've been reading too, right? Like this is going to sound like a left turn here, but bear with me. You know, we've been reading about ontology and a lot of that focuses around how there's a sense that, especially with music, like nothing really new or interesting has come out since like the early 2000s, even maybe back to the 90s. And I think what you were talking about too, like the playbook and the formula, and I don't know if this is the case, but whether it's technology, the internet, our interconnectedness, the global village, whatever, like we've made enough stuff to be able to analyze it and like break it down to its rudimentary elements, the building blocks, the pillars of that thing. And
the atomic structures.
It's like, okay, now we can synthesize art because we know like biomechanically humans react to these octaves or these notes on a whatever, this melody structure or whatever. And so like we can fabricate.
We did it a little bit today with the image generation. Like, I would hang that on my wall.
I would hang that on my wall. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you fill up people's homes or galleries or whatever with that stuff, and it starts to feel the same, or it's like all the buildings in town, like the sameness of everything. This is something that we've been talking about a lot over this last year. And to me, it just feels like it's I don't want to say it's a lie in the malicious sense, but it's just not people writing diary entries. It's people making something for maybe an ego-based result or a commerce-based result, which is often related to ego, to achieve greatness or immortality or whatever. They're fabricating something, they're synthesizing something instead of transcending or conjuring something from, you know, the muse or the source or whatever you want to call it. And maybe some of the stuff that is truth or diary or whatever it's out there. It's harder to find because there's so much that people are making, including me, just video. That's not, I'm saying this almost to myself. Like, you need to start.
Oh yeah, that's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to myself when I'm,
and that's it. Like, we can sound
I think that's why I get frustrated about it, is because I do fall into that sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
And then I also get frustrated when I see other people fall into it. It's like, a lot of times when you're angry at something, it's some kind of like, some kind of projection of something inside of you.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And I think that is, you see the same apartment buildings, the same this, the same that. And it's like, you're frustrated by that because, consciously, subconsciously, that you're contributing your thing that you're making.
It's funny too,
is that shitty building that
cycles back
soulless.
around where it's like, and this is like, you talk about entrepreneurship or what, like that is I think that's the best reason to, go out and do your own thing, is because you see like, man, all of this is just the same.
Yeah.
And why isn't somebody doing it like this? Well, instead of being like, why isn't somebody doing it like this? Go out and try to do it like that. And, I'm talking to myself in a sense here where it's like, put your money where your mouth is, stop putting, why can't this be done this way? Well, nobody's going to do it until somebody shows that it's possible.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that happens, everybody's going to try to do it.
Yep.
And a lot of people it's like Roger Bannister breaking 4 minutes in the mile.
Right.
It was physically impossible. And then he did it. And then like 8 other people did it miraculously in a 60-day period.
Yeah.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer and summer.